Year of the Snake. Chinese communities all over the world are celebrating. And here in Australia, these Chinese New Year celebrations are following a rich traditional history. Chinese communities here in Australia have been celebrating since the 1850s, when the first Chinese gold miners arrived. In this episode, we'll look at how those celebrations have evolved, and we'll also look at UNESCO's program, Intangible Cultural Heritage, which recognises Chinese Lunar New Year. All ahead in this episode of Travel Oz. Ni hao. Welcome. I'm Greg Granger. We've assembled a big team of talented young Chinese watchers to report. Susan Elliott on the gift of 2 young pandas from China to Australia. Sarah Marie Cameron on Chinese New Year celebrations in Melbourne. Irene Jones on Melbourne's line dance through Melbourne's QV Centre. And Mei Zhang showing us celebrations in China. And here in Sydney, we'll follow local celebrations as we identify UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage Program. China has sent 2 special ambassadors down under. 2 ambassadors in the form of 2 lovable giant pandas. Susan Elliott, can you elaborate?
Thank you, Greg. We are welcoming 2 lovable pandas, Yilun and Xingqiyul, a wonderful gift from the Chinese government to Australia. And what a great way to kick off the Year of the Snake. This young lady is Yilun, 3 years old. Her name translates to idly blissful, which keepers say captures her charming personality. Truly charming for the Chinese New Year. And her partner is Xingqiyul, a 4-year-old male who's quite lively. The keepers reckon he's also very handsome. His name translates to Star Autumn, reflecting the season he was born and the bright starry night that illuminated the world when he was born. Visitors are flocking here to the bamboo forest to watch them. And in years to come, there's a plan to allow them to mate, according to Zoo Director Dr. Phil Ansley.
I think what I will say is just being part of the global program itself is remarkable in itself and being involved in that program. Ilan and Xingqiu at the moment are 2 very young pandas, so 3 and 4 years of age respectively. And we know that it's going to be a number of years until we're in a position where we can consider breeding. But at that point in time, we're absolutely hopeful that we may be successful, and it would be fantastic at some point in the future to see the little patter of giant panda cub paws here at Adelaide Zoo.
Don't you love that? The patter of little panda paws, and what a generous gesture from the Chinese government to make this all happen. There were presentations and news conferences to the assembled media. Both the Australian and Chinese governments were represented, with senior officials and ambassadors from both countries, all held under the nonchalant eyes of these 2 charismatic characters.
So how did it all begin? I put that question to Australia's leading expert on Chinese-Australian relations, Dr. Michael Williams.
Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, the Spring Festival, has been around in Australia since the mid-19th century. It began with the first communities of Chinese gold miners. It's spread out into the rural towns of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria in particular, where there were always little communities of Chinese men. Where they were big enough, they would have their own joss houses. They would celebrate with feasts. They'd invite the community to them. People could remember feasting on roast pig and listening to hearing the fireworks go off. That continued right through to the end of the 19th to the early 20th century. I think Australia has learned to really embrace the Lunar New Year in its own way. I mean, and this has been on the back of the evolution of this festival in China itself. I mean, it used to be a very family-orientated festival, and it still is, but it's also become more public as people travel around the world rather than just simply go home to the home village, which was the traditional way.
Dr. Williams, please tell us UNESCO's role in recognising the Intangible Cultural Heritage Program.
The UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage Program is very interesting because it recognises that heritage isn't all just about bricks and mortar and big buildings and so forth. It's all about what people think and feel about their culture. And they've recognised that the Chinese New Year, or particularly the Lunar New Year, is something that exists well beyond China. It's obviously important to China and China, the nation of China. But of course, Chinese heritage and Chinese communities exist all around the world now, and have existed in Australia for many generations. And so this is a recognition that the way of celebrating the Chinese New Year is something that can evolve and exist within modern society.
Well, Sydney's Chinese New Year celebrations kick off here in Chinatown. Well, how about this boisterous line, prancing and dancing his way through Chinatown restaurants? This troupe of supporting drummers is from the Dak Sing Tong group. How their line interacts with diners is climaxed with a red card. A red card stuffed with cash. Most red cards are handed out a few days later in Chinatown.
These are red envelopes for the Chinese New Year, and the people try to distribute this one to others, bring their happiness and prosperity of Chinese New Year.
Dr. Zoe White is one of the community leaders in Chinatown today.
It means for me, it's a feminist unit and people together to celebrate this special festival. Especially for this year, 2025, Chinese New Year is the first to be recognized as an intangible cultural heritage New Year. So this year is very special.
What follows is a lively parade along Dixon Street, including Chinese and Australian dignitaries. There's State Premier Chris Minns handing out some. Sydney Lord Mayor Clover Moore handing out still more. Those red cards and the cash they contain are a symbol of peace and hope for the new year. Kevin Chan is typical of Chinese families celebrating today.
Peter, how's it going?
Good. We just had our banquet meal with dumplings, and now we're going to go see the parade and see some fireworks, see some lion dances. It's going to be a great night.
So how important is it to you, these Chinese celebrations?
It's the cultural event of the year for us. We get to celebrate the new year coming in, and hopefully it'll be a good luck year.
And what about the Victorian capital of Melbourne? Big celebrations there with Sarah Marie Cameron and Irene Jones reporting.
Thanks, Greg. We're here live at QV Melbourne having an amazing time for Lunar New Year.
And there is so much on here. Heaps of entertainment for everyone in the family and plenty of food, which we need to go and try.
Food and feasting is a big part of Chinese New Year celebrations, with the old Beijing restaurant catering with favourites like Peking duck. The chefs have certainly been cooking up a storm, as restaurant co-owner Louis Kuo explains.
What's on offer for customers to come see you during the Lunar New Year?
Yeah, first of all, in QV Melbourne, it's the heart of Melbourne, and we do offer the diner for this Lunar New Year with our special designed Chinese New Year banquet menu. From Peking duck, King Island lobster.
Yeah.
We also have some steamed fish, coral troll.
Louis and Irene go on to sample that crispy Peking duck breast, served up in a pancake with cucumber and a sweet bean sauce.
Not bad for a first attempt, right?
Well done.
Cheers, let's
Cheers.
try.
That is amazing.
Today's line dancers here in Melbourne are the CMS group. Troupe member Amber Lee says the group has been performing for more than 100 years.
It's been a generational tradition for us to be parading around Chinatown during Lunar New Year. A lot of people come out, they see the dances, and it's always been our way of spreading that culture to them.
In the Year of the Snake, what better way to celebrate than with a giant game of snakes and ladders? Family is such a big part of Chinese New Year celebrations, and today Sarah Marie is catching up with her celebrating family. Crystal Wang, her mother, and daughter, 1-year-old Ruby.
Family is such an important time of the year for us, so it's always good to get together, especially for my little daughter to experience what it's like to be Chinese in Australia, just so she doesn't forget that when she's older. Everything in the city, even just around the suburbs as well, everything's a lot more decorated now with Lunar New Year, and it's so cute. I love seeing that. I love seeing a little bit of our culture in Australia, which is so heartwarming.
All right, so we've eaten.
We have definitely eaten.
We've had some drinks.
Lots of drinks.
So what do you do when you don't want the day to end?
Well, karaoke.
Obviously.
Off then with the family to sing and celebrate. Burst of karaoke to end Melbourne's Chinese New Year celebrations this day. What about China itself? Well, you recall recently in Shandong province, we filmed Mei Zhang. Mei, what's happening right now?
Yes, Greg. Yes, it's all happening in Shandong province. The launch of New Year is such a big celebration. Dear foreign friends over the Chinese, welcome to Xuecheng Zaozhuang. At this moment, we are in this busy street, surrounded by a wonderful dragon and lion dance performance, which is one of the most distinctive sides of Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, also known as the Spring Festival, is our most important traditional festival, symbolizing reunion, happiness, and the new beginning. And here, Zaozhuang Xuecheng has a profound cultural heritage and unique charm. It's a city with a long history and has witnessed many changes over the years. Here you can feel the rich local customs, taste and delicious spicy snacks, but also enjoy the simple and enthusiastic folk customs. I hope you can enjoy the Chinese New Year in this joyous atmosphere and feel in love with this city, Xuecheng.
Well, no Chinese New Year celebration is complete without a concert. Big concert here tonight in the glorious Sydney Town Hall. Some very big names from mainland China performing. Festivities begin with a reception, many guests wearing traditional costumes. Then a dinner. 500 guests dining on tables filling the entire floor of the Sydney Town Hall. Sponsor of tonight's Australian Chinese New Year Gala is Michael Zhang, CEO of the wealth management company Hujin International.
As you know, Lunar New Year, Chinese Lunar New Year is the most important culture in the Chinese tradition.
Yeah.
You know, why the reason I sponsor this a celebration of the culture, tradition, and the friendship, because you know the enduring relationship between China and Australian, you know, it's based a shared history, and also it's experiencing by evergreen cooperation with in trade, education, and cultural exchanges. There's going to have a big surprise in this function after that. You will see that.
What an impact the opening performance makes. It's the Spring Festival Overture, performed by the acclaimed Australian Shi Yang Yang Orchestra. By way of contrast, next up is a folk dance. This ethnic dance medley is performed by the Sydney Eye Dance Studio. Their award-winning instructors are combining rigorous Chinese training with the relaxed atmosphere of Australia. How about this performance? A mix of folk dancing and martial arts. It's all in honour of a national Chinese martial arts hero, Hao Yonzhang. Performers here are the Sydney Maya Orchestra and the Australian Jingwu Athletic Association. Next, a feather dance. The Chinese opera dance is performed by the Maple Leaf Red Arts Troupe and titled Colours of Spring and Autumn. So what is the big surprise that Michael Zhang is promising us? It's Chinese celebrity singer Ping An. His most amazing voice is why he's been described as the voice of China. The fans tonight are rapt. Amazing what an effect hundreds of their phone lights can create. climax tonight brings every single performer back onto the stage. It's been a formidable lineup. One event that truly signifies UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage Program are dragon boat races here in Sydney, Sydney's Darling Harbour. 2,000 competitors in these dragon boat races over the next 3 days. In the days leading up to the big event, dragon boat crews are out on Sydney's backwaters limbering up. This team is China Long, representing the Chinese consulate in Sydney, with Sylvia Wong both their coach and drummer.
My role is the coach and also the drummer up the front to teach and help the Chinese consulate crew to prepare themselves for the Lunar New Year festival.
So this is the first time they've had a full crew?
Correct, yes.
How are they shaping up?
They are looking really good. For a team that haven't come together at all and the first time, their timing looks good by the time the end of the session, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 sessions and shape them into something that they can race and be proud of.
Are you a tough taskmaster?
I can be. If that's what the consulate want, I can be even tougher.
And what are the requirements, do you think, of a good dragon boat paddler?
Need to have rhythm, because timing is very important. Once you have timing, the whole boat follows through. That's where all the energy comes from. And make sure they have to have a sense of fun and a lot of enthusiasm. Because at the end of the day, we are celebrating how hard we can work together, one team, one goal, and race towards the end.
Race day sees a carnival atmosphere as supporters take a musical approach to bolstering their team's performance. Plenty of action ahead, with a bigger turnout this year than last, according to Nicole Bates of Dragon Boats New South Wales.
We're very excited for this year. This is our 2nd year having a 3-day event. We're kicking off today with our corporate festival day. We've got about 45 crews coming down here to race. There's a lot going on around here, I can tell you that much.
Come together in a big way. You say bigger numbers this year?
Yeah, we actually think that we'll have slightly bigger numbers than we had last year. Yeah. So we're aiming for about 2,000 paddlers across the weekend. 2,000 paddlers, yeah.
What's the attraction? What's the attraction of getting behind a paddle and paddling a dragon boat?
You know what it is? It's because it's so accessible to anybody. And people might look at it and think, I can't do that, but there's not one person that can't hop in a dragon boat and have some fun.
Heat 1 for the China Long team starts with a lot of energy. There's fierce competition in this corporate day, and they paddle feverishly to cross that line first. To be this day, but it's all part of the spirit of the day. The Chinese Consul General in Sydney, Wang Yu, has been following the races closely.
Just now I watched several teams racing. Every team was doing their best. They have shown their spirit, their strength, their unity. Very good. You know, as a Chinese consulate here in Sydney, we value, first of all, we value the relationship between China and Australia. We enjoy a very good relationship, especially in the past several years. We've made a lot of progress. We also want to contribute our best efforts for the warm relationship between the two countries.
Lots of enthusiastic Aussies watching on today. What are you seeing here today?
A lot of entertainment, corporate races look great.
Pace is packed out. This is what should be happening in Sydney every day of the week.
Well, I just like the culture of it, the happiness, the brightness, the colourfulness, the excitement, what it brings. It just lifts you up. Nice Friday afternoon and a nice way to start the weekend.
A day of racing reaches its climax with the grand final. It's the team from Combank that are edging out their rivals, a time of 54.09 seconds, fractionally ahead of the SBS Dragons and then the Westpac Choppers. a fast and furious win, with hearty celebrations afterwards. The year of the snake is reaching its own climax. Still more Chinese New Year celebrations today, this time at the Maritime Museum. We've got a hall full of traditional cultural activities and then some new Chinese performers. Big crowds have gathered here today to sample traditional Chinese practices. It's an opportunity to try on traditional clothing. These colourful traditional outfits are from the Guangxi province. The ancient visual art form of calligraphy is demonstrated here today, with visitors invited to make their own brushstrokes. Then there's pitch pot, a traditional Chinese game where players try to throw arrows into a bucket. The Maritime Museum is highly supportive of these cultural displays.
Intangible cultural heritage from UNESCO, to be on that list is a remarkable thing. So in Australia, we also have that opportunity here, and the Maritime Museum and all of that, the beautiful fleet and the sea, the Badu, the earth and the water, is a beautiful connection to that as well. I love the way that this is the year of the snake, and there was a lovely connection between the snake in First Nations cultural heritage and the snake in Chinese heritage as well. So you've got that beautiful sharing of culture.
Entertainer Lucy Jacklux is a keen supporter.
We had lots of Chinese people come over to Australia in the 1850s. They were looking for gold. We had a big gold rush over here. And of course, they started families and they brought their culture and traditions with them. And that has grown to these really big Chinese cultural traditions like Chinese New Year that we have all across Australia being celebrated today.
You've seen it grow and grow?
I've seen it grow and grow, and at an event like this, I've been to a few of them, but I'm seeing more families coming, I'm seeing more interest, and I'm seeing people compete to sit at a table to take part in them.
Outside, a troupe of dragon dancers signal that there are more performances ahead. The outdoor stage is filled with performers, singers, dancers, acrobats, and that's where Lucy Jacklux illuminates the stage. Lucy is singing Gongxi Gongxi, a popular Chinese song meaning congratulations. Spring has arrived, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. Gongxi Gongxi, where everyone can wish each other Happy New Year. In this, the year of the snake.